Hi, it's Matt, and in this episode we are on board both with DVR view and HD view with the Micro SkyHunter, and we're going to be chasing around and following Dave in his Hornet FPV flying wing, and I am going to be naming some of the locations which we've named on the flying site. I'll give you an early heads up, some of them are rather adult orientated. So there's our first little quick lap. I'm waiting for Dave to get his Hornet in the sky. So we're coming across towards Stu's armpit, which is the pits just there. I think Dave's just been and launched his, and I was asking where he is. Oh, look, there he is. He's gone straight underneath us. So I can't remember if I follow him or he comes back to find me. So I'm going back on the home straight. He's obviously told me where he is, and it could be in Australia. So at the moment we're going down the long walk home, and we're now going to bear left towards Stu's armpit again. Now you may be wondering, why is the pits called Stu's armpit? That's because Stu flew his nano wing straight into his arm a couple of days ago, so we've nicknamed it appropriately. So there's me mucking around. I'm waiting for Dave to come back in so we can go and pick up with him again. And this is the main field. So I think Dave is away again. There he goes. We just seen him on our left, so we're going to bank round left. And by the way, this is what the chat's going to be like for the rest of this episode. So if you don't like some commentary with some flying, sorry, this one's going to be full of it. So we're heading down towards Balls Deep and Suicide Straight. Now this is called Suicide Straight to our right hand side because it's just complete suicide. If you make a mistake over there, it's a very long walk to go and get the model. Now we haven't named that field there, which I'm above now, but I'm sure it will get a name sooner or later. And we got Suicide Gate down there on the left. Look out for that because we will be going through that very shortly. So we're now currently in the shit. That's what that whole field is called, and we're about to go balls deep. Are you ready for this? That is balls deep, and the reason why it's called balls deep, did you see the entrance to that? There is no room for margin. You've got to go. Oh, good boy, Mac. Oh, wow. Yeah, good boy, good boy. And by the way, I did manage to do a whole sequence of all of these trees in the Hornet FPV wing. I'll get that out as a later episode. But coming back to balls deep over there, yeah, you've got no wiggle room. You have to commit to that maneuver because you can't go left, you can't go right, you could possibly go up, but you are going through. So you'll see now we've been and picked up Dave, and I try and keep Dave in view as much as I can. Saying that, I've just been and scooped underneath him, and I think I'm going to wait for him to come back up underneath. So we're off to Dave's Wood. And the reason why that's called Dave's Wood is because Dave had actually, it was really unfortunate. He went really close to that tree just down there on the right, and it clipped his wing, and then that dragged him in to the woods, and we had to get a great big fishing pole to go and get him back out again. So I think this is me and Dave just chatting on the flight line, trying to work out where we're going. And this is why names on the flying site work so well, is because I can say, right, I'm off to Suicide Gate. And look, there's Dave down to our right. So I'll pick him up and then latch onto him. And that sounds really wrong as well. But this is Suicide Gate. And you'll see why it's Suicide Gate. So we're off into the shit again. Again, it's called the shit because the field's just been ploughed. And it just seemed an apt name for that. So we're going to go for balls deep again. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. That gap looks actually so much bigger now coming back and look at the recording, but I can tell you on the goggles it looks absolutely tiny. So we're in the Bermuda Triangle at the moment because the model was lost, and that's Dead Man's Arm just to our left. So we're going to come over the top. That T-junction just there on our right is called the T-boner. Again, you can just imagine some of the conversations on the flight line. So we're again heading across to Dave's Wood. And then we're gonna. Is this the part where I get down super low? I must improve my flying and get down much lower to the ground. Yeah, I was playing with chicken with the trees, and I know in a later flight I managed to scoop all the way around the edge. So we're heading off towards the farmer's daughter, and there's Dave. Okay, now we are in Australia now because it's so far away. And these bottom trees here are called the farmer's daughters because the farmer's house isn't that far away. And one thing which we've both noticed, that we do suffer from signal strength, not in video quality, but in actual transmitter quality. So we end up having to stick transmitters above our heads because it's literally directly behind us. And there goes a birdie to our right, and you can see that I really have locked Dave's Hornet FPV wing in the goggles. And this is where we're talking on the flight line. Dave said he's going down to Suicide Gate, so I'm doing my best just to keep him in the goggles. Now, obviously with the HD camera, you won't be able to see him when he goes to our left. That's why I'm trying to keep him in the right hand side as much as possible. So we're about to go through Suicide Gate again. Brilliant. I'm really impressed with my flying now. And give you a heads up, this day that there was literally no wind at all. There's some of the maneuvers which we were able to pull off, and you see, look how low I was to the ground. I think I've lost Dave, and actually no, there he is. He's just popped down there in the right hand corner. And again, this is why communication's really good. So Dave said he's gone through balls deep, now he's in the Bermuda Triangle heading towards Dead Man's Arm. We know where we are, and I think this is when then Dave said, oh, I'm going back down Suicide Straight. I knew exactly where he was on the site. So yeah, this is us, and that's just now ducking in between those trees. And you can understand now why we're calling it Suicide Straight, because there's so much low hanging like branches here. It literally is a whole straight line of trees which are all completely suicidal. They really are. And of course we go back again, and of course I'm probably saying to Dave, oh, I'm over at Suicide Gate, and then Dave's told me where he is, and then I'm gonna have just look at that, just darting in and out of those trees. There he is. He's actually in front of us, I think. Yeah, he's there to our left now. Such a brilliant day. And of course, when the summer comes and spring comes and we get leaves on those branches, they will be a lot easier to see. But if we can do this kind of, or these kind of maneuvers at this time of the year in such pants lighting conditions, then imagine what our skills are going to be like when it's later on in the year, only like literally in a couple of months time. So that's the opposite side of Dead Man's Arm. You can come round now. Do I go round to have a go at balls deep? No, I think yeah, good boy, Matt. I was just it's all the approach to balls deep. I can't believe I'm saying half this stuff. All right, anyway, so it's time for some low-level flying. The FPV camera is pointing downwards, and that is on purpose so that I can keep a much closer eye on the ground itself. And as you can see, I think Dave's gone off somewhere else, so I'm having a muck around, and then I do get some height, and then like, come on Matt, get back down lower, and then we're off to T-Boner again, and then we're going to go down the hedge line. Oh no, we're heading towards Stu's armpit. So because of that sudden maneuver, I'm guessing Dave has been and told me where he is in the sky. So, or what he's doing, I don't know where he is. Again, there's no audio recording of us chatting on the flight line. So either Dave's up behind me, or I'm waiting for him to catch up. So anyway, let's go for a muck around. Looks like I'm going through Dead Man's Arm again. Yeah, good boy, Matt. Nice and low, keeping it as low as I can. I'm gonna just bunny hop over the hedge. Brilliant. Down Suicide Straight again. Eyeing up a gap. So you saw me planning that from the moment I went over the previous hedge. Down through in here. Again, you've got to keep it low. You've got to keep it low. Anything more than, say, 3 foot above the ground is literally suicidal here. And it looks like the farmer's been out as well today. So he was out there cutting the hedges around. So we're going to give him a little flyby. And we're going to get heading back towards Suicide Gate. Brilliant. It was just, honestly, it was just such a fantastic day. A day of just ducking in and out and around. Oh, that was a bit harsh then, wasn't it? In and around these trees. And it was like the first day we've been able to do that properly and not just get chucked around like willy-nilly with the wind. because there was literally like 2 miles an hour wind, something like that. It was a perfect day for flying as far as wind conditions went, but with that said, the lighting conditions were absolutely dire. You can see how like kind of dark it is at the moment. Oh, also in the HD recording, is using the RunCam 2. I'm sure you would have seen in a previous episode how bad the light handling capabilities of the Mini Mobius were. They were really bad. Now, good boy Matt. Now these trees haven't been named yet, so I don't know what to call them. But they are a target which we mentioned on the flight line. I think that was Dave just, or maybe even a bird going off to the right hand side now. So we're going to come back. We're off heading towards Dave's wood, and then yeah, come on Matt, go down lower. Brilliant. So that's the kind of height which I'm now going to target to do more of. And you can see there, Dave's just coming and around. So we'll go round again. We haven't named this tree over here yet. It's the bottom 2 trees at the very end, which we have named the Farmer's Daughters, and this field here and the other field behind it we're literally just calling Australia, because it is just so far away for it. And again, these 3 trees in front of us also need to be named. Now, am I going to pick up Dave, or am I just mucking around? I think this is where Dave comes into land. Yeah, it is. And I think this is where I'm also going to go and land as well. So with that said, from myself, Matt, thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch this episode. This really was just a little bit of pottering around fun with the Micro SkyHunter. I'm absolutely impressed with it for what was around 30 quid. In fact, the RunCam Owl Plus FPV camera cost more than the model, and I'm a very happy guy. And how's that for a landing? Happy days. So for myself, Matt, cheerios. Camera's pointing right at me. We're gonna try and do that again. That would be the Micro SkyHunter. It's mental. There's gonna be so much footage of this now on U-Balls. We going up again? Again?
Yeah, can do.